Hi everyone, I'm back. I know it's been over a year, but I've been crazy busy with school, and I've been busy with work and parenting, and one of my friends had a crisis a few months ago that took up almost all of my extra time. But I am back. I don't know how often I'll be uploading, but I'm back today for a very special reason. I have received my unicorn deck. It basically fell into my lap, and I'm still in shock. I've been searching for years and years and years and years for this deck. And I'm a part of a lot of tarot Facebook groups. And, every so often somebody will be like, oh, what's your unicorn deck? What deck are you looking for? And, I always comment, Cursed Auguries. Always, usually with like crying emojis, and then people are always commenting like, oh yeah, right, good luck. Anyways, 2 weeks ago, this angel sent me a DM and she's like, oh, I have one, and like, you seem to really want it, like I'll sell it to you. And she did. It's here. It's real. It arrived yesterday. I don't know. If you're in this space, I'm sure you've heard of this deck. I'm sure a lot of you have it. The artist basically vanished. There were stories that she was moving, and once, like, she was moving countries, and once she was done moving, she was going to re-upload, but I never saw that. Somebody gave me her email. I sent her just one email, no pressure, just like, hey, do you think you'll ever... Anyway, she never answered me, which is fine. I probably went to her spam folder, but I've been searching and trying, and here it is. It's in my actual hands. Okay. Step into a world of dark fairy tales with this deck of 78 cards. Evoking imagery of the old craft and folk magic, it is suitable for both new and experienced readers. Designed and illustrated by Spanish artist Ana Sora. Wow. There's her website, but it doesn't exist anymore, so don't go there. But trigger warning, in case you've never seen this deck, there's a lot of images in here that are a little bit unsettling, a little bit. Spiders especially, so, beware. But you probably already know this because this deck is pretty famous. Anyways, it's linen. Sorry, I'm really excited. Follow your intuition and go deep into the woods with this tarot deck that blends together the iconography from pagan tradition of the old craft and Christian imagery through the prism of folk magic. Use the deck's narrative to discover your very own storytelling and interpretation of the metaphors built upon the cycles of life, death, and nature. Second edition, October 2019. Okay, and so these are the backs. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Okay. I love the edges. I love that they're like rough almost. Like, this just feels really indie, and I don't want to say used because like it's in really good condition, but I love the rough edges. I don't know if you can see how sort of rough that is. All right, so I kept them in order for this video. I haven't used it. I haven't even, what's the word I want? I haven't even cleansed it yet. All right, so I'm going to flip through it. The minors are a little bit pippy, but usually I don't like a pip deck, but I kind of like it in this one because this deck is really sort of open to interpretation, I feel. Anyway, so let's go. So the Fool, and a lot of cards like connect. So I'm going to show you that too. Anyways, the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess. This is one of the cards that made me very badly want the deck. The Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot. There's no guidebook. I don't know if there ever was a guidebook. So a lot of these things are up for interpretation. So this is sort of the opposite of the Chariot, I guess, because snails are slow, Anyway, Strength. This bunny and this snake are recurring themes. This is one of the major trigger warning cards. I did warn you. Anyways, this is the Hermit. Wow. Spiders do scare me, I won't lie. So I love this. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hanged Man, Death. I love the use of just vivid color in the backgrounds too. Temperance, the Devil. This is such a beautiful Devil card. My eyes are stinging right now, which is what happens when I get emotional. It's so ridiculous. It's just a deck of cards. But I am so unbelievably happy and grateful. And this woman she reached out to me out of nowhere. Anyway, the Tower, the Star, the Moon. Let's see if I can hold all three here. And the Sun. Look. This is just the first of cards that connect. But anyways, or not connect, but like match. Judgment. The World. You know, I'll flip through these pretty quick, but basically you've got pips here. But I really like, I don't know. I don't mind this at all. I don't mind this at all, especially if you're using other decks at the same time. Okay, here we have our Page, our Knight, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Okay. Wands. I love these sticks. I don't know, they're really reminiscent of antlers to me. Yes. There's our Page of Wands. So the pages are all the spider, the knights are all the snake, and the queens are all the bunny. And then the kings are different each and every time. Here's the King of Wands. I love this. Trigger warning. I bet you already saw it a little bit. But anyways, Ace of Swords. This is, I can feel it. I don't obviously I love it because I'm obsessed with this deck, but like this is a little bit hard to look at. Okay. Two of Swords. See, pip, 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 but I don't care. I do not care. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. I love this. I love this snake. Snakes and bunnies, they're my favorite. And they're in here. Okay. King of Swords. And then finally we have our cups, which are tadpoles. It's so interesting. What a choice. Page of Cups. King of Cups. I love the expression on this snake. Queen of Cups. King of Cups. So I'm going to show you the cards that I feel really match each other. There's these three. I think this sort of tells a story. I think the deer, and I'm making all this up, okay? But I think this deer maybe passed away. I mean, look at his eye, right? He doesn't look super alive to me. And I think this is his skull. And I think this witch, who I also believe is the main character of the deck, and again, like I don't know for sure, I'm just making stuff up based on what I noticed, but I think she's the main character of the deck and she found his skull. So it's just like I think she found it and took it, and it's now a tool of her craft. So now first I want to point out these two cards, Justice and Judgment. I think these are the same heart, and I think this is part one, this is part two. I think they're connected. She got the heart, she does spell on the heart. So I love that. And on top of that, I think this is all the same witch. I think she's the main character of the deck. And I really like that. I think that's really unique. I'm not sure I've seen that before. But she's a witch, and a true witch, because this deck feels very witchy. It's very, like, it's full of spells. It's full of that sort of feeling that I'm having issues articulating right now. But I didn't notice that until I received the deck and put all the cards out on my bed and started to really look at everything sort of as a whole picture. All the knights feature this snake, which I really love. So, you know, the meanings here don't stick out super obvious. Like this might be the Christian iconography that, you know, the box was talking about at the beginning with the woman, the apple, the snake. But for me, this woman is not Eve at all. I'm also not Christian. So it's really like it's open to interpretation, right? Like if this was your deck and you are a Christian, although arguably those things are opposing, but if that was you, you might look at this and think, yes, oh my gosh, that's Eve for sure. For me, no. I love the recurring theme of this snake. I'm gonna do the queen next because there's some majors that I want to show you. So the queen is this this bunny rabbit, and it's the same bunny. It is the exact same bunny that you see throughout the deck. So you see her as the queen, but then we're also seeing her in this story from the majors. And I think the order is Temperance. She's found herself in a nest, the snake's nest. It's the same snake from the rest of the cards, but she finds herself in this pile of eggs. And the snake is like, I'm going to eat you. And she's like, no, you're not. Bites the snake and it escapes. It's so well done. And I'm just so excited about it. I don't know if you can tell. So let's do the page next because we're just all over the place. So we have the Page of Swords, which is the spider web. And then we have the Page of Cups. Our spider has found a tadpole. Page of Pentacles, which of course has that apple recurring. And I love the way she's done these perfect, beautiful, like snow white apples. And then Page of Wands. So the pages is all spider. And the Fool is the only major that features, oh no, I'm lying. Of course, you've got the spider in the mouth of our witch, which I will just get just because it's part of the family. So, and these are our spider cards. So the spider is the page, and he's also in the Fool as well as the Hermit. And I think this is a beautifully done spider. I mean, it's obviously stylized and very cartoon, but also very realistic, and I appreciate that. I don't know my spiders. I don't know what kind of spider this is. So the kings are really interesting because they're all very different. They don't have things in common. They don't have a character. So we've got the King of Cups, which is this frog jumping in the water. We've got the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, which is amazing. And then the King of Swords, and there's a couple snails there. So I just want to go back to the Queen of Wands for a sec because it gave me pause actually while I was flipping through the deck in this video. I don't know if this pile of sticks on fire is the same pile of sticks the Queen of Wands is sitting on. That's a very interesting idea. Very dark idea. So yeah, these are the kings. Now, there are frogs in the deck as the Empress and the Emperor, and I did look it up. This made me do a little bit of research on frogs, and the male frogs will carry their eggs on their back and in their legs to like keep them safe. So that could be what's happening in the Emperor card, and something's causing maybe him to jump in the water, because this is definitely our Emperor frog, if you look at the colors, because the Empress is brown. Although that could be mud on her. No, I don't think that's mud. But I mean, it could be. It's really hard to tell. But either way, like even if this green, you know, this green up here is the green of her skin, it's different from these two. Like these are the same frog. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. And then I'm just going to show you these four again here because, I mean, I don't know if the world really matches the other three, but I'm going to include it because the way she draws skulls is tattoo worthy, to be honest. Like, I won't be surprised if I get this whole image tattooed to my body. Because I don't have a skull yet. Anyways, look at this. Ah, okay. I'm so happy. Oh my God. Okay, so I think that's all I really want to show you for things that match. And if there's something I missed, you know, let me know. All right, so we are all shuffled. I have shuffled everything pretty good here. So I just want to show you a couple quick pairings. So maybe a year and a half ago, I was pretty convinced that I was never going to have this deck in my collection. So I was trying to think of like, what could I get that, you know, it's not the same, but has like the same sort of vibe. And I settled on Whaaaaat's tarot. So I don't usually mix tarot with tarot. Although I say that, but I started doing that a couple months ago, and it's been quite profound. So they're very different, but also have the same sort of energy, I feel. Let me just adjust this here because Whaaaaat is huge. So this is an investment deck. Like, this is nothing to be like, oh my God, who cares? But like, this is a big deal deck. It's, you know what? I wonder if it's out of print. I'm not sure, but it's amazing. It was pricey, but it's worth it because it's got the same sort of like punch quality, I feel. Also, trigger warning, because some of these cards do sort of feature a little bit of potential self-harm. I like the color palettes of both of these. So I'm just going to flip through like a little bit just so you can, I mean, Cursed Auguries is very Pip-like, and this one is not. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but like there's the same sort of themes, like minimalist colors, first of all, but also there's a lot of things that are very thought-provoking, maybe some things that might make you a little bit uncomfortable. Whaaaaat's has a lot of skeletons, which I really like. See, there's a little pop of red, little pop of red. So thematically, you know, they're a little bit similar, I feel, in terms of energy, how they make me feel. See, there's the potential self-harm there. Oh my God, I love this. Look at, I don't know. And I love Whaaaaat, and I was so happy with it, or I am so happy with it. And I'm like, I'll never need Cursed Auguries. I'll never need it. I have this. It feels the same. It's beautiful. Designed by a tattoo artist, which I really love. It's got, you know, my antlers, skeletons. It's even the very similar card stock as well. But they are very different. And then, of course, when that woman offered me Cursed Auguries, I lost my mind. This card I'm going to keep to the side, actually, because the next deck I'm going to show you has a card similar to this for the High Priestess. See if you can guess which one I'm talking about. And I remember when I saw that, I was like, I don't need Cursed Auguries. Look at this. Anyways. Yeah. Look at this. They kind of go together. I don't know. I feel like they do. You know, you could sort of, here, like read it together. I don't know. It's pretty. All right, so my next pairing, again, is going to be tarot on tarot. And I feel like these decks belong together. My next pairing is gonna be brilliant, you'll see. But this one is a pretty close second to the one I'm gonna show you after this. Right away, the vividness of the colors. Sorry, I have like specks of candle wax like everywhere because I just cut up a candle. Anyways. So again, it's, you know, some of the cards are going to be pippy, but I like pip decks for tarot on tarot, actually, if that makes any sense. And let's see if we can get to the card that I was talking about. Ooh. So this is not the card I was talking about, but it's a similar theme. I don't know what it is about um, these deer skulls. There's something about it that I'm just completely, look. Anyway, okay, hang on. Look at this. Both the magician cards are basically the same creature. I mean, this is an elk and I think this was a deer, but it's a very similar concept, but opposite ends of the spectrum. This one's not doing so well, and then this one is the absolute picture of strength. And oh my god, I just saw the next card. I didn't plan this, but anyways, this is the picture of health and strength, you know? And look at I didn't plan this. I really didn't. This is incredible. Oh, Witch Sister. This is the Witch Sister Tarot. There is going to be some nudity. But if you're here, you're probably fine with that. Because a lot of decks these days do contain nudity. Queen of Trees. Nine of Wands. I absolutely love the Witch Sister Tarot. It's so beautiful and profound. I can't think of the artist's name in this moment, but I love her art. I have several prints on my wall. So there's another similarity. There's a bunny appearing in this deck too pretty frequently. I love the King of Waters. I love the whole water suit. Water is my thing, you guys. I don't know if I've adequately expressed that yet. There she is. So I love this High Priestess so much. And this was, well, it's Nick Neven. It's been renamed, but it is the High Priestess. And this card made me feel so much better about not having Cursed Auguries, because it's a very similar idea. And I am in no way saying that anybody copied anybody. That's not at all what I'm saying or implying, suggesting, whatever. It's just, I was like, I don't need that deck because I have this card. It was just a way to make myself feel better. But ultimately, that's what it was, just to make myself feel better. But, like, can we talk about the blues? Like, look at the blues down here. Like, I can't. This art is stunning, okay? So let's do a couple more, and then I'll show you my final pairing that I'm so excited about. And, yep. I also just quickly want to show comparisons between, like, creature art, because it, like, if you're also a little bit sort of down that you can't find Cursed Auguries, because believe me, it's quite the rare spawn. Witch Sister is a great alternative because it has that same sort of witchy feeling, and you're getting a lot of the same creatures. Very different art style. Both are very beautiful. But there's that, and then the snake, of course, is recurring throughout Cursed Auguries, but the snake is also within the Witch Sister Tarot. And this is another one that I don't have a print yet, but I will be getting one. I love snakes. I am also Year of the Snake, but snakes are such a big deal to me. Yeah. So my final pairing for today, and just get ready because it's brilliant. This is my first time pairing this with anything because my life is incredibly busy. So like I got the deck yesterday, I looked at it, I spread it out on my bed, took a good look at it, put it away. And today, before I started filming, I just looked at all my decks quickly, and I wanted to pick at least 3 that matched, and these 3 basically jumped off the shelf into my hands. And this one I'm particularly excited about. Cave of Sybil has a guidebook, but it doesn't tell you much about the card meanings at all. And then Cursed Auguries, of course, there just is no guidebook. So you're sort of really left with your intuition, which is pretty cool. I don't have very many decks that do that at all. I love the open to interpretation. It's like watching It's like watching a movie that doesn't give you a resolution at the end. You have to figure it out for yourself. So I'm excited to do this flip through because these are by far my most witchiest, mysterious, dark cave decks. And I think they're going to speak to each other really nicely. I do also have, so this is by Tira May. I was a part of the Kickstarter for the final edition of the Ritual Tarot. And this is also completely unavailable. So these are two out of print, incredibly rare decks. I apologize sincerely. And I've seen, I've seen other YouTubers be like, I'm so sorry for showing you this out of print deck. And I'd be on the other side of my screen going, I hate you so much. Not for real, but that sort of feeling of like, oh man, I wish I had that deck. So like, really, like, I'm sorry if I'm invoking any of those emotions. I'm just really happy. And there's so much crap in the world right now. Like, there's so much dark stuff going on in this world right now. And I am so stressed because my own personal life is wild and crazy, and my job is sucking the soul right out of my body. So this little beam of light, this person offering me to sell me this deck out of the absolute blue is wonderful. And it actually happened to me twice in the same week for two of my unicorn decks. And it sounds unbelievable. Another person was searching for the University Books Ankh-back Rider-Waite Smith on one of these Facebook groups. And that's another one I've been searching for because that's really the only Rider-Waite that I want, because the Ankh, I'm on a tangent now, but the Ankh is a very important symbol to me, and that one has the Ankh back, and it's beautiful and it's vintage. And so I've been looking for that one, but to like a lesser degree. So when this person posted that on Facebook, I was like, hey, if anybody has a second one, because I don't want to take from OP, but I was like, if anybody has a second one and OP has already found theirs, like, reach out to me. And this girl in the US who I had sold a deck to many months ago, she brought up our chat in Facebook Messenger, and she's like, I actually have one. So she sold me hers. It was crazy. In the same day. Like, I mean it. It was the same day. And that one is out for delivery as we speak. So, anyways, let's flip through this because I keep distracting myself. The titles for Tira May are on the back. So this is Saturnine. Wow. Obviously, the art style here is vastly different, but I think these work incredibly well. I do apologize if I'm not saying a whole lot. I just want you to look. I just want to look and see what we can see. Look how brutal this is with the red. Wow. I always took this to be like a moon on her head, but just flipping the card, and if I get rid of her, you can see a cat. I don't know if that's on purpose. There's the head, the ear, the cheeks, nose. Do you see it? Am I crazy? I've never seen that before. That's sort of the beauty of a collage deck, isn't it? All right, well, I think you get the idea. I'm blown away. I'm so happy. I'm so thrilled to pieces. And you have to be very careful. Like, please, if you are buying things off of people on Facebook, you know, and I'm sure you know, but just be careful. I have been scammed before. And my bank is really good. They're always able to fish the money back. But with these people, I mean, one of them I had sold a deck to before. So, you know, I knew she was real. I didn't think she was going to lie to me. She posts on Instagram deck reviews all the time. So like, she's pretty legit. So I wasn't worried about her. And the woman who sold me Cursed Auguries, I went to her face. Like, this is what you should do. If these people are reaching you out to sell you a deck, go to their profile. Because even if they're set to private and you can't see any of their details, you will see when they made their Facebook account. You will see how many friends do they have. What is their profile picture? What is the date on that profile picture? Because the people who scammed me before, they were people who joined Facebook 2 days ago. They joined the tarot group I was in the same day they messaged me. You know, things like that. Or they're unwilling to, like, if for me, the Queen of Cups is my favorite card. So I'm always like, can I see the Queen of Cups? A scammer is going to be like, no, I'm not going to show you the Queen of Cups. So there's, you know, I'm not going to show you a specific card. You know what the deck looks like. Like, they're going to be rude. They just will. They're going to be so rude to you. And that's sort of your indicator to be like, okay, this is a scammer. This person's not real. Anybody I've ever, you know, successfully bought a deck, because I've learned from my run-ins with scammers in the past. So anybody I buy a deck from, I can just tell the way they're talking to me. I can tell based off of their profile. Okay, they're legit. You know, this is a real person. They have friends. People are commenting on their wall, you know, and it's, you might feel a little funny about, like, quote unquote creeping or, you know, doing some investigative work on somebody's personal Facebook. But if you're buying something that is worth a lot of money, well, you gotta do it. And if they're willing to do the goods and services on PayPal, even better. You're covered, you're safe. If something goes wrong, you will get your money back. So I was really fortunate, obviously, with this interaction, with my RWS interaction. I'm hoping to have time this week to show that deck too, because I'm very excited about it. I'm getting it today and I'm freaking out. Okay, so that's it for this. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to brag. Have a good week.